Hi there, this is Laura Workala of Laura's Sewing School. You can't see me here, but this is a fabric collage that I had a workshop here last week with a certified instructor, and a person missed, so I ended up making one of them. And so I wanted to show you a little bit about putting together your quilt sandwich. Hopefully this will help someone. This is the quilt front. And when you make your sandwich with batting and backing, you need to make the batting and backing bigger than the front. This is so when you quilt it, the bottom doesn't shrink and get smaller than the front. And it also helps if you just want to start on the border or whatever. Now this is not set up correctly, so don't look at this and say, oh, this is how I stick it all together, or I sew this and turn it right side out, or something like that. No, this is not. I just wanted to show you with the top here how much bigger I cut the batting, which I have right here, in the backing. Because there's a lot of white in this background, even with the patternies and everything behind it, I decided to use a white batting. And this is one that has a lot of needle punching. I was looking for warm and natural, but Joann's doesn't carry that anymore. And so I ended up with a Pellon, I can't remember what it was called. But anyway, I ended up with a Pellon white one that's a low loft, because I really don't want this to be puffy. I'm just trying to sew this together to hold all the pieces down. These are held down really well though, because they've all been steamed to death, but it's just good to stitch it a lot when you quilt this down. So anyway, so usually what I do is I lay this on top of batting. I cut the batting that much bigger. This is about 2.5 inches bigger. Then I laid the fabric down and cut the fabric the same size. So I just wanted to show you that. So now I can show you how I spray. I actually like to spray base this. Some people like to use safety pins, and with all the thickness on this fabric collage, I didn't want to use safety pins. So there are two products here I'm going to show you. This one, 505, I've used this for years. It is 505 Spray and Fix. You can get it at Joann's. You can get it at a variety of different quilt shops. It's a temporary fabric adhesive, odorless, colorless, stainless, spotless. Doesn't gum up the needles, no CFC, acid-free. It's like wonder stuff. And it doesn't really have much scent. It is flammable, they say, so you got to be careful. Don't eat it. So anyway, so I got this at a local quilt shop. I've used it for many years and been very happy with it. I was taking a class on Quilt As You Go and was introduced to this. This is Web Bond TA 101 by Metler. I hope you can see that. Anyway, I know the lights are reflecting off of it. No smell, no spot, easy to handle, free of CVC, acid-free, transparent, very flammable. So you got to watch out with any of these sprays. But anyway, I thought I'd try this one on this. I don't have a whole lot left, but I think I have enough for this. Now, here's the thing. When you do this, you want to cover the area where you would get overspray. So what I did is I have some white paper. You can use tissue paper, whatever you want to do to protect it from overspray. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just spray half the quilt at a time. So I'm going to move the paper over there later. So the first thing I do is, this is all lined up. I like to fold this back like this. So I've got about half of it exposed. And I'm going to put that down like that. And of course you got to shake this stuff. Now don't make this as, like one time I let a student use this stuff and it was like bubble gum. She did too much. So, don't go crazy with this, all right? So you don't want to be right at there. You don't want to be like this. You want to be at an angle, like a 45-degree angle, and just sweep it back and forth across, okay? So I'm just going to go like this. This seems like it's more stream-like than spray-like, so hopefully that works all right. I haven't used it for so long. I probably clogged up the nozzle. Oh, well. So then what I do is I take this, and I like to hold it up as I smooth this down so I don't get any bubbles or weirdness or whatever like that. And I kind of go out from the middle outward. And it's just a very light, smooth, like that. Okay, so I've done that half. Now I'm going to pull this over here. Sorry, I've got a cold. so I can cover the other half and get the overspray over there. So now I'll pull this back like this, and look it just stops right where I stop spraying it, okay? Now because I don't want to get my cutting mat all blucky, here, there's a technical word for you, I'm gonna spray away from that area, and then I'll spray this down. And again, I like to hold it up. And sometimes, see, if you have a bigger quilt, I mean, I only do this with like wall hanging quilts because I don't care to do a big quilt on my home sewing machine, or, well, I have kind of a hybrid because it's kind of professional portable. But I don't like to do big quilts on my sewing machine. I like to just take them to the long arm studio and do them myself there. Rent time on the long arm. Oops, that stuff. Okay, so now that's nice and smooth. I usually like to do the backing first and get that all taken care of. This is nice and smooth. I like to buy batting on the roll. I don't like to buy batting in packages because it's folded and it's stretched out and all that stuff. And one thing I was talking about earlier was the scrim on in this. Scrim is like to make it more stable because they needle punch the fibers. Dream Cotton doesn't have any scrim in that. But when I have a wall hanging, I want it to be fairly stable and not get saggy baggy. Not that this one would because of the all the fusible that's been done on here. But now I'm going to bring this back here. And when I cut this to get the size of the batting and the backing, this is how I laid it on the batting. I had it batting, put this on here, cut around it, and then I cut the backing. But of course, I didn't want to like redo all that stuff. So now this is kind of stiff, but I think it'll hold pretty well. I've never really had any problem with it. See how thicker this is? It's got a very big round part there. So again, I'm going to roll back half this. There, that's it. You know, not too close to the batting. Don't take your whole life to do that. Now, I think I saw a little black speck. I don't want it to show through. There. Now I can go like this. See, it folds back. So you know it's stuck because it's folded back just fine right up to where I sprayed it. Oops, I gotta move this over. And put this here. There. I don't recycle that paper because I'm not sure that it's okay to recycle it with all that glue on it, so I tend to throw it away. So that's why I'm being conservative about using that paper. I try to use the paper more than one time if I can. Like that was under some fabric, some unstable fabric to make it stable when we were cutting it out. So I just ironed those flat and then I'm reusing them. So this is all set. I shouldn't have to do any pinning or anything like that. And I'm going to do what Laura Heine did on the pattern, which was to go horizontal and to go vertical to just hold everything on. And I'm thinking I might do a variegated thread. I'm going to lace some threads across it to see what I think. But anyway, I just wanted to show you about spraying together quilt sandwich. Thank you.